What's up you guys, it's me Greg, welcome back to another video. Today I'm doing one that lots of you have been asking and hotly anticipating. We're taking this channel back to where it all began just a short couple of months ago, and we're talking about learning Swedish. Yep, I see your comments on my social medias, and I know that quite a few of you guys out there started following me in the first place because you are also learning Swedish and wanted to learn from my experiences and some tips and ideas that I have about how to learn the language quicker. And quite a few of you have been asking if I went through the Svenska for Invandrare program, or SFI, and I can tell you that I did, and today I'm going to share my story and experience of SFI. Before I start today's video, I just want to let you guys know that at the end there's going to be a giveaway, so stick around for that and all of the instructions you need on how to get involved and how to win yourself some goodies. Anyway, let's get back to the video. So for those of you that don't know, SFI is a state-run program through the education agency here in Sweden, where basically they offer the opportunity for all immigrants that first come to the country to get on board with the language and learn some basics. And whether you've been through the program yourself or you've just heard about it, you will undoubtedly have heard the rumours that it's not a good place to start your Swedish experience. And today I thought I'd weigh in with my own story. So before I get any further, I should probably mention that there's 4 different tracks of SFI, and they're all designed for different types of abilities and experience. The first 2 tracks, as I understand it, are designed for people that have come from countries where they haven't even necessarily learned to read or write. They might not have even finished a school program before. I was quite lucky that before I moved back in London, I was able to take some very basic Swedish classes, which meant that I actually jumped straight to stage 4. So please bear that in mind when I share my story, because I haven't experienced the other 3. I don't know what they're like. I can only give you the perspective on the stage that I've experienced. And why does it get such a bad reputation? Well, my guess would be because, as I say, there's these 4 different tracks, and sometimes people get placed in the wrong one. So the most important thing to do when you first register is to make sure that you really have a conversation with the facilitators and you make sure that you are put in the right class for your level. I think another reason SFI gets a bit of a reputation is because the class sizes are quite big, so maybe you don't always get that one-to-one attention from the teacher that you want, and maybe you don't feel you're progressing as fast as you would like to. Now, unlike maybe some of the other people that are watching this video, I do have a comparison point, because before I signed up to SFI, I also signed up to my local Folkuniversitet, where I did evening classes with another group of students. Now, the difference is at Folkuniversitet, you need to pay for your courses and self-fund that, unless your employer will do that for you, whereas at SFI everything is free. And I must admit, having been to both of those different group classes, I didn't notice a big difference. The one thing that I can say is, of course, when you go to Folkuniversitet, perhaps some of the students were a bit more committed and motivated, and I would imagine that's because obviously they were paying for it themselves. It's quite a big time and money commitment, and then maybe you want to do a bit better or put in a little bit more energy. That's not to say I didn't meet committed pupils at my SFI class as well. There are a fair few of those in the same class as me. One of the things that I think is really important to re-emphasise at this point is that SFI is entirely free. That's all of the course materials, all of the tuition time, all of the teacher support, entirely free. So again, I wonder if sometimes people's expectations are a little bit too high, because the opportunity to learn a language entirely free of charge is not something I've seen anywhere else. I mean, it definitely wouldn't happen in the UK. And the other thing that I don't think a lot of people know about SFI is they also offer a distance alternative, and this was offered even before the pandemic began. So as somebody like myself who works full-time and travels a lot for my work, there is the opportunity to take your lessons at distance, one-on-one with a teacher. Now remember what I'm saying here, this is one-to-one tuition between me and an SFI teacher once a week for an hour. She's marking my homeworks, she's giving me personalised feedback. I can't fault that experience. At the same time, I can't say that I didn't feel like I was being rushed through the system sometimes, because I know this is a comment that lots of expats talk about, where you kind of begin your SFI journey and you feel like they're just trying to push you all the way through to the end to get you through the course as quickly as possible. Now, I don't entirely know what the reason is for this, but in the interest of transparency, I feel like I need to mention at this point that there is a rumour that goes around that the reason they want to push you through the system is because each school gets money for every student that finishes the level or finishes the programme. And again, I don't know if that's true or not, that's just something that floats around. But again, that could be a motivator. So I'd be lying if I didn't bring up at this point that when I went to my SFI exams, I felt hideously underprepared. I felt like everybody spoke so much better than me. But since then, I've really grabbed it by the horns and tried to be a bit more directive in what I want out of my language journey. And my experience, at least, has been that all of the teachers that I met have been really flexible and really helpful at trying to help me achieve that. So on balance, I have to say that I do find that sometimes people are a little bit too harsh with SFI, and perhaps that could be just because I've had a really positive experience, but I feel like we don't hear enough about those. Quite often people talk about the things that went wrong rather than the things that went well, and as I say, it's really important to remember that all of this is free, and I think that opportunity alone is a massive plus here. And no, I'm not being sponsored by Skolverket to say any of this, as much as I wish I was. This is really my experience. It has been quite positive, and actually I'm really glad that I persevered with SFI, because then in the city that I live, we don't have a lot of immigrants that come in trying to learn Swedish, and so although, as I said, I was doing this Folkuniversitet course as well, it got to the point where there weren't enough students to continue those classes, so I couldn't progress beyond B1 level there. So I'm really glad that I continued with SFI, because now, as I said, I've done the Grundleg into SVR, and now I'm also doing SVR Gymnasiet level. And if I hadn't been doing SFI and I hadn't have persevered with that, I wouldn't still be learning Swedish at the level that I am now. So in summary, my tips really are: take control of your own learning journey, decide what's important to you. Do you want to learn quickly? Do you want good grades? Why are you learning? What do you want to learn? If you can inform the teachers about that, my experience has been really positive. That being said, I do also understand that there can be quite a long waiting list for SFI, of course, because it is free and lots of people want to apply. So if you're in some of the bigger cities, it can take a little bit longer to get your place allocated, and that's when my giveaway comes in. Yep, as some of you guys will remember, I started this channel because I wanted to share my language journey and my tips and ideas for how I came on board with Swedish that might help those of you guys out there also learning. But I see your comments on social media, and I appreciate that some of you are waiting for SFI places, don't have Swedish courses available in your cities depending on where you are in the world, and want some help. So today's giveaway is all about giving you guys some of the resources to help get you started with your Swedish learning journey. Yep, if you've been around on my channel for a while, you will know that I did a video recently all about the tips and resources that helped me with my Swedish for those of you that also want to learn quickly, and one of the books I mentioned was an early Harvet, and I thought I'd give this away to you guys today. But that's not all, because since being in Sweden, I've read quite a few books for young adults, because I've found it's been a really good way to practice my Swedish, get into a book that is, interesting enough, but at the same time has language that I can read and that is accessible. And another one of those books that I found really, really interesting in that space was Anna, Hannah och Johanna, so I'm going to be giving that away to you guys as well. That's not all. I realise that some of you guys out there want to follow a curriculum to really get you started with your Swedish, and with the help of one of my followers who is actually an SFI teacher, I'm able to give away a copy of one of the SFI books to you, as well as the instructions and all of the answers you need so that you can get practicing at home. So yes, big thanks are in order to my friend Barina, who has been really, really nice since I joined YouTube. You can go and check out her Instagram channel. I will leave the link somewhere on the screen right now. She is the person that made this possible with the other SFI books, otherwise I wouldn't have had access to that material, so thank you very much to her. So yes, if you guys would like to win my Getting Started with Swedish kit, here's what you need to do. Step 1 is to subscribe to me right here on YouTube, then head across to my Instagram account, which is @justabrit_abroad, and follow me there as well. The third and final step is to go over to the Instagram post I'm going to be doing about this giveaway, the link to which is in the description section, and comment with the hashtag Swedish Learner. It is going to be a condition to enter that you are subscribed and that you follow me on Instagram, so make sure you do that first, because I will be checking. But once you've left that hashtag, your entry is solidified. You are in the contention to win the prizes, and I'll be reaching out to the winners on Instagram within a couple of weeks' time. To further your chances of winning, you can of course tag a couple of friends in the comment section to that post. If they enter as well, your chances also go up. But as I say, I'll be announcing the winner on my Instagram story within a couple of weeks' time, and then I'll be reaching out to them directly to get their contact information so I can find out where to send their prize. Anyway, good luck for anyone that's planning to enter the giveaway. That's the end of this video today. I really hope you've enjoyed this one. Let me know if you've been through SFI, what your experience was in the comment section down below. Do you agree or disagree? Have you experienced something different to me? As always, if you're not subscribed yet, I'd really appreciate if you could, and turn on that notification bell so you are ready for more videos, which are coming very, very regularly at the minute. I'm trying to keep it up twice a week, so I would love to have you along for the ride. Like this video if you enjoyed, so that I know you want to know more about my Swedish journey and my experience of learning Swedish in the future. And as I say, that's it for today. Thank you for watching, and I will see you again in a new video. Goodbye, guys.